Oh.
Good morning. I am Ramanda Noble Watson, the Director of Public Relations and Communications with the South Carolina High School League. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to the 2023 Boys State Finalists for our tennis teams. With us this morning, we have coaches and players from classes 2A and 3A. But before we get started, we will have some words from the Commissioner of the South Carolina High School League, Dr. Jerome Singleton.
Thank you, Ramanda. Good morning and congratulations. Congratulations on a fine season. I know you've created some great memories throughout the process, and we're culminating it with this championship this weekend. I know you'll have a great time doing it. I want you to play as hard as you can. Enjoy this experience. So unique. It doesn't come often to a lot of people, but be sure to know that who you represent and represent them well in every way that you can. Sportsmanship is big for us. We look forward to seeing you out there. Enjoy this press conference. It's a special time for you. Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And joining us from Class 2A, we have Oceanside Collegiate Academy, who is coached by Sean Harris. Coach Harris, please introduce us to your player.
Right, we have senior Garrett Brooker to my right, to my left, senior captain, and they're both co-captains. So Bryson Harple.
Welcome on in. And they will match up against Academic Magna High School, coached by Hewitt Strange. Coach Strange, your player.
Yeah, our player today is senior Pearson Tran.
Welcome on in, Pearson. And competing in Class 3A, we have W.D. Daniel High School, coached by Zaina Nate Omar. Coach Omar, please introduce us to your student athletes.
All right, so to my left, I've got our senior team captain, Ian Burton, and to my right, I've got sophomore Alan Hong.
Thank you. Welcome on in. And finally, they will face off against Camden High School, coached by Abigail Bates. Coach Bates.
Good morning. With me, I have junior David Pope and senior Alex Hinton.
Thanks so much for those introductions. We'll sit back, relax, and we're going to just give our viewers just a little bit of information about each of the teams. And we will begin with a brief summary of their teams by the coaches. And we will begin with Camden. Coach Bates, please let us know, just give us a little summary about how your team went and how did you end up here?
Sure. So this is actually my first year coaching these guys. Since day one, obviously our goal has been to make it to the state championship. We have been playing match by match and kind of focusing on the current challenges ahead of us. But in the back of our minds, we've always had the state championship as our goal. And these guys have been super determined to redeem themselves from their loss in lower state championship last year. So they have been laser focused and we've all been on the same page the entire season. We have purposefully been scheduling some very tough, challenging 4A and 5A teams, and we have been able to beat them, which is a huge accomplishment for us. And so I think that we are prepared for Saturday.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And we're going to go to Coach Omar from Daniel. Please share your thoughts on your season and how things panned out.
Things have been going really great. This is also my first season coaching these boys, and it's been a really great time. We've built a really strong, awesome team that's been rallying for every single match. We've managed to play an undefeated season out here, and we've played some very tough teams as well. And of course, in the back of our minds has always been the desire to make it to state again, because this team did make it to state last year. So I'm really proud of them that they've been working so hard. We've all been working hard, and we're really looking forward to getting to play our hearts out at state this weekend.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And now we're going to move over to Class 2A. And Coach Strange from Academic Magnet, please share your thoughts on how your season went.
Well, yeah, we had a great season. This was my first year coaching an Academic Magnet, and all I did was really inherit a great group of guys. So we had 5 seniors that have been on the team all 4 years, and we're really peaking in time for this season. And we added a couple of really talented freshmen as well. So we felt like we were really deep all the way down the varsity roster this year. And we tried to get out and play as many tough opponents as we did, and we're pretty successful. And have had a good march to the finals, so we're ready to go on Saturday.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. And finally, we're going to go to Coach Harris at Oceanside. Can you give us a little synopsis of your team?
Yeah, this is my third year, and bunch of young men. They work hard off the court and on the court. The season went well. Again, played a couple tough teams, and actually went down to Hilton Head, and we lost to Hilton Head Prep. So that gave us some momentum to work harder. And I'm going to miss these two boys to my right and left here, co-captains Garrett and Bryson. And then we got one more senior, so we have 3 seniors. So we still kind of have a young team, but we're looking to do 3-peat. We wanted 3A, 2A. And so that was our goal, one match at a time. But I know Coach Hewitt's got his players ready, and we're ready too. And Saturday's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
We're looking forward to some competitive matches on Saturday. So now we've heard from your coaches, so we're going to move on to the student athletes, and we're going to stay with Oceanside. And the first question goes to Bryson. What was the best moment for you so far this season?
I'd say the best moment so far was probably we played like a preseason tournament, and we have a lot of freshmen this year. So like, I remember we were all just standing like in like my driveway of my house, ready to go to the tournament. Nobody was talking. And then like by the time we like got back, everybody was like super close, and we were all just like bonded really well. So I think that was huge for our team this year. So yeah, probably the first tournament.
Oh, okay. First tournament. Wow. And for Garrett, talk about the lowest point of the season, and how did you and your teammates overcome that low point?
I would say the lowest point in the season for our team was when we played Hilton Head Prep the first time, when they came to our home courts and we ended up losing. I think everyone on our team may not have been playing to their full ability that day, and everyone took it kind of harsh, but it also helped us be motivated and prepared to win the rest of our matches and compete harder.
All right. And thank you for answering that. We'll be back. We have another question for you towards the end. And now we're going to move on to academic magnet. And Pearson, you're the lone athlete there this morning. So this question is going to go for you. What is it about this year's team that makes it such a special group, would you say?
Well, it's been the same core of players for the last 4 years, plus 2 new freshmen. One of them is my cousin, actually.
Oh,
So I
wow.
feel like immediately we all blended well. There was no really getting used to each other because we already knew each other so well. So yeah.
So just the cohesiveness of the team is what makes it so special.
Yeah.
All right, so we've heard from, excuse me, we've heard from 2A. We're going to move on to 3A student athletes, and we'll begin with Daniel High School and the senior Ian. How do you feel about making it back to the States this year?
It feels really good, especially after last year, after the hard defeat. We want to try and win this year and prove that we're a good school and that we can win the competition.
Okay, we wish you well for sure. And of course, Alan, this goes to you. As you're preparing to head to the state finals, what is the environment of the team like?
The team is very happy. I mean, we made it to state last year, and we did lose 4 seniors. So this year, our team, we are all very happy, and we have worked very hard, and we have made it back to state, and we are ready to play on Saturday.
All right, well, good luck to you. And finally, we get to hear from the student athletes at Camden. I know I didn't leave you out. Alex, last season, the team fell short. What's the difference for this team?
Guess I'll say this year, it's definitely, we're the same group of guys. We all came back. We didn't have a senior last year. We're all pretty close. We've been playing together since we were 9 or 10. So it was definitely hard on us last year that we lost. But, we got back together. We got our 2 new coaches, which was exactly what we needed. And they were able to bring it together and bring the talent and, make a product out of it. So, which is bring us to state.
All right. And finally, David, how is the team preparing for this championship? Are you doing something different than you did last year?
Yes, ma'am. We still have a core group of guys that all hit together, especially in the off season. And we are a pretty tight knit group and we're just ready to go for Saturday.
Well, we wish you all luck. Thank you all for sharing that. Coaches, for the insight on how your season went, and for the student athletes, thank you for sharing just your thoughts on what it took to make it to states and how you're feeling. So now, those are all like the formal questions. So now it's time to get into the fun stuff. During the press conference, we like to give the viewers a little bit of the fun side of the participants, both players and coaches. So with that, we're going to start. Yep. We're going to start with the coaches. The one thing I want you to tell those who are watching is, if you were not coaching tennis, what other sport would you choose to coach? And we'll start with Coach Harris.
Let's see, if I wasn't coaching tennis, boy, I've been doing this my whole life. I think I grew up playing baseball. So that was my first love, actually. So if I'd be coaching baseball if I had another sport to coach. So, and most of my grandfather, my dad, they coached baseball. And it's funny, I'm the only tennis one in the family, which is interesting. But baseball be it.
Baseball, okay. Coach Strange?
Well, actually, I grew up playing baseball too. It was my best sport as a kid. So that's probably the one I'm most qualified to coach. And I'd love in baseball, when you coach, you get to get out there on the field and argue with the umpires and kick dirt on their shoes and have a good time doing it. So tennis, we got to be a little more restrained, which is a good thing. Yeah, baseball is my sport, but I love coaching, and I've coached several sports at different levels, basketball and a little bit of football as well. So I just love working with athletes, and it's really a great experience. So.
Well, Coach, if you get a chance to coach baseball, don't kick dirt on the umpires. You will get kicked out the game. Just the FYI, just a little note. So when you go out there to coach baseball, stay away from the umpires for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And now we're going to move on to 3A coaches. What sport would you choose, Coach Bates?
Man, so I was a cheerleader in high school, so cheer would be the right answer. But honestly, I think I'd make a pretty dang good football coach. I think I can hang with the guys, and I would like that very much.
We need to try to go on the sideline for maybe one game or so.
That's right.
We may let you. And finally, Coach Omar, what would you choose?
I have literally only played tennis my entire life, and I'm not even kidding. I did gymnastics for like half a year one time when I was 6. So I guess that's probably the next most qualified thing. But I really pity the gymnasts who would have to be getting coached by me. I think tennis is the right way to go.
So you're not going to venture out, you're just going to stick within tennis.
I'm good on tennis. I'm good.
Well, thank you. And now, athletes, it's your turn. So your question's a little different. I know a lot of athletes have some rituals as before the game. So for each of the athletes, tell the viewers, what is your pre-match routine? And we'll start with class A, 3A this time, I'm sorry. Ian and Alan, your routines.
Well, my routine is to take a nice little 5-10 minute nap before the game, get ready, and then I eat about 2 bananas, and then I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play.
Okay, I'll be there on Saturday. I'm gonna see if you're eating your bananas. And you?
For me, I before the match, I have to go to the bathroom to freshen up a little bit, wash my hands, wipe my face a little bit, and then I'll be ready.
All right, that's very interesting. And finally, David and Alex, share with us.
I guess my pre-match is I have to have Chick-fil-A for my lunch. It has to be Chick-fil-A, cannot be anything else. And then I like to have a good, I want with the same person type thing. And I like to have a good 30 minutes. And I like to have a sit and watch everyone else. I like to have a little break in between before I have to warm up and have to play.
Okay.
I'd say mine, I hit with our number 3, Hank Greenway, and I usually have a liquid IV and a Rice Krispie treat right before I play. So that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, so let's see what the 2A athletes have to share with us. Pearson, you have a pre-match routine?
So I don't really have any crazy pre-match routine, but what I usually do is like the class that I have before a match, usually I'll just chug down a bunch of water, then go to the bathroom, and then I'll be ready for the match.
Okay, and finally, our Oceanside athletes, Bryson and Garrett, share with all the viewers on Facebook your pre-match routine.
There you go. Usually I like to hit like a workout before I play. Just get like the blood going. Just get warmed up and stuff. And then usually just warm up with like the same person. And yeah, just drink a lot of water. That's it.
All right.
And I always listen to music before my matches. I like to zone in doing that. And also hydration is really important for me. So I'll drink a Gatorade.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing a little bit of insight. So we got 2 baseball coaches, a cheer coach, and strictly tennis coach. That's all we're doing. Well, that's all we have for our coaches and athletes. I thank all of you all for your participation in today's press conference, and we definitely wish you well in the state finals. But before we go, we have to tell people how they can catch you in action. All the matches is this Saturday, May 6th at the Dr. Eddie Floyd Florence Tennis Center in Florence, South Carolina. This group of student athletes, Oceanside versus Academic Magnet, again, and Daniel versus Camden will begin play at 1 p.m. Tickets for all state finals are digital and can be purchased at www.gofan.co. And additional information about the tennis championships can be found on the South Carolina High School League website at www.schsl.org. Once again, thank you all for participating. Thank our viewers for watching, and this concludes our press conference.